Alright. Hello everybody. Welcome. I got Venom here. What's up? Logan just came out recently, I think last week or so, on Blu-ray, and Venom hadn't seen it. I went and saw it in theaters, and I still haven't purchased the Blu-ray DVD, but Venom saw it recently, and I was like, oh, this is a chance to do a Logan review, which has been one of my favorite movies of the year so far. So let's start off. Did you like it? Yeah, I loved it. Now, you said you hadn't seen some of the other X-Men movies, right? So, you didn't watch the First Class with Michael Fassbender? Where they stopped the Cuban Missile Crisis at the end? Yeah. But you didn't see Days of Future Past, which is a great one, and that's actually my favorite of the... Well, not including Logan, I guess it's my second favorite. You didn't see where they send Wolverine back from the future into the 70s or 60s? That's fantastic, man. It's fantastic. And then Apocalypse was a disappointment. That was, it wasn't terrible. I don't know, I'd give Apocalypse somewhere in the 50s, maybe 60s. I have to think about it. But this movie has nothing to do with any of those. I mean, it does to a point, but it's like completely independent of any of that. Let's start off with the director. This director, his name is James Mangold. And so when I look him up, I've actually seen and liked a lot of his movies. He did Girl Interrupted, which came out in 1999. I don't know if you were alive. Oh God. Oh man. I was in the military. That was with the Angelina Jolie, and they got her first Oscar. And then he did Identity with John Cusack. Have you seen that one? Where he goes to a hotel, and then there's a bunch of people, but it turns out they're all different. He's multiple personality disorder, and the whole movie is really taking place in a guy's head, and the people are actually his different personalities. Identity? At least I think that's the one. Hopefully I'm not wrong. Yeah, John Cusack. 2003. Okay. That one was good. And then he did Walk the Line about Johnny Cash. Fantastic movie. Another one. Then 3:10 to Yuma. Another good movie. This guy's a good director, man. Then he did The Wolverine, where he goes to Japan, which I liked. I didn't love it. I thought it was okay. Did you see that one? Where he goes to Japan? Okay. And then he did Logan. And to me, Logan is my favorite of all the X-Men movies, including Wolverine. I like it better than Deadpool. It's Fox and Mutants. So yep, it's really. Yeah. What would you give Deadpool? You said, like... Yeah, I think I'd give... Yeah, I think I'd give Deadpool like a 78. So... Yeah, they are. One's more like a comedy... Oh, yeah, it's comedy action versus like a grim, serious action drama. It's more like action drama. Yeah, it's like an action drama, and it is a Marvel property, but it's done by Fox Studios, not Marvel Studios. So it's a different universe. Legal shit, man. Can't get sued. So this director, and he's doing this movie called The Force, which I wonder if that's X-Force, which is another. Going to be a Fox property. It's kind of like the X-Men. So this director, man, yeah, he's one of those guys that I've seen a bunch of his movies but never pay attention to the director. Just for some reason, some directors don't. Maybe because he doesn't blast his name all over the place, or he doesn't do. His movies are all kind of different, you know. Yeah, all those movies like Walk the Line and Girl Interrupted, they're nothing alike. And I tend to remember directors like Chris Nolan. When you see a Chris Nolan movie, you can tell, and you know it's a Chris Nolan movie, right? Like this guy's like, okay, he also did Oliver and Company, which was an animated movie. I never saw it though. That was his first movie. All right, so let's go with the acting. You know, I thought this might be Hugh Jackman's best movie, his best performance. Yeah, yep. I actually think he deserves a nomination. Based on what I've seen, I think he deserves an Academy Award nomination. I don't know about the win. I'd have to think about it more, but definitely I think he should get a nod. Yeah, he looked. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, I think, and even like I've seen Les Miserables, I've seen, or as John Travolta says, Les Les Miserables, Rubbles. Zine Kadeen and Les Miserables. Anyway, yeah, man, I think this is the best performance. Um, and Patrick Stewart, yeah, he was good in it. He's always good in all of his stuff. And then there's a younger guy that plays the character Donald Pierce. His name is Boyd Holbrook. Uh huh. I didn't remember him from Narcos. Yeah, 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 dude. He was a good character, and what his job was to bring is that sense of urgency. Like, oh crap, this organization's right on their tail. They got to get out of here. Yeah, for what he had, he did a good job. And I looked him up, and so that accent he had might be his real voice. He's from Kentucky. So it seemed his accent was really, I was like, damn, dude, he's doing that. But that might be, you know, him being from Kentucky, that might be how he speaks. Or being from there is probably not hard. You know, because usually when somebody tries to do like Tyson or something like that, they just talk like this, and and it doesn't. I don't know. On a movie, to someone who's actually from the area, they might be like, "What? That's not. That's not. That, yeah, yeah." And then there was a guy, Stephen Merchant as Caliban. I actually didn't like that character. I felt, I yeah, I felt like he didn't need to be there. Like, why was he there? Like, what? Other than yeah, because he could track mutants, but they could have found some other way, like to track them, just through the papers or the internet, you know, like. Oh, how do you yeah, yeah, I didn't like him. I didn't like him in the movie. And when he was getting burned, I was like, oh, that sucks. But I was like, whatever. I don't like him anyway. yeah, 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 yeah. I thought he was a weak point in the movie, actually. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And you remember? Okay, so okay. Well, let's keep going. Now, what about the girl, Daphne Keene, who played X-23? Mhm. Yeah, dude. I I loved her. Uh huh. Yeah. Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude. Oh my god. Yeah, I looked her up afterwards, and I guess her mom is from Spain and her dad is British. But she actually did the. So I speak Spanish, but she did the Mexican accent pretty good. Um, I think she was born in England, but she learned Spanish from her mom, or her dad. One of her parents is Spanish, the other one's British. So, but that's where she learned Spanish. Well, I mean, oh, you mean accent? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like I would assume she would speak like the Spanish from Spain, not the. She sounded like she could be Mexican. That's why I looked her up. I was like, "What is this girl?" And then, dude, she was really good at just like the expressions on her face. She does intensity really well. And like I think if she doesn't screw up her life like a lot of kid actors, she's a little older. She's not like I think she's like 12, 13, and yeah, she could be like the next like action female man, like Charlize Theron or what's her name, Sigourney Weaver, something like that. Like, some, yeah, dude, yeah, yeah, she's imposing. Yeah, she's tall. Yeah, dude, Daphne Keane, I want to see more from her. I definitely want to see her come back, and I think she'll be alright. It's usually the American child actors who turn into, like, psychos later and go to jail for some reason. I'm embarrassed to say. Hmm. When he's first a mutant, yeah, like he was born, his natural state is bones. Yes, that is correct. Uh huh. Because they did the same thing. Yeah, they did the same thing to her. Yeah, no. Yeah. So no, 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 no. She has one in her foot. Remember, be, remember, Professor X explained this. He said that with the lions, the female lions, they also have claws on their feet, which are defensive to keep from getting raped. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You must have missed that in the movie, but that's why. And I thought that was really cool when they showed that. Yeah, man, that girl was on right from the beginning, dude. Like they cast perfectly, and the chemistry between her and Hugh Jackman was really good. Hmm. Yeah. So yeah. So okay, now we're getting kind of in a spoilery sort of territory, and this is the one thing. Okay, so and a lot of people have brought this up as well. Is you remember The Last of Us? How it's a guy like that who's pretty much lost everything. He comes across a girl that an ethnic woman has her, gives her the girl, says, "You got to take her to these people, and then this could change everything or whatever." And then there's an organization trying to chase him down, and it's a post-apocalyptic world, and it's almost, and they even come across some black people. I don't think you got that far, right? In The Last of Us. Yeah, and in that one they come across like a black dude and his little brother, I think. And then spoilers for dude, The Last of Us. Dude, it's almost like there's a video on YouTube where they even take some scenes from the cutscenes and show them right next to the the Logan movie, and they're like the same. They're like the same, and the girl has a backpack also in The Last of Us. She's got a backpack, and like how he's really cold, and he's like, not letting her in, and she starts to like emotionally get, they start to get closer just because they lived through so much stuff. And I felt like that whole theme of despair and like they just did that so well. And, like, what do you think of what happened to Professor X? This is spoilers. So if you don't wanna see spoilers, yeah, man, I felt like he'd go out doing some badass, but it was just like the other Wolverine came in and just go, "You're dead," and I was like, really? That's how? Yeah. Heroic sacrifice. Yeah, he's just sleeping. He's just sleeping. Yeah, he's just sleeping. He's like, hey Logan. And he's like, oh, what happened? Oh, I'm dead. I'm like, oh man, that sucks. That's how he goes out. Goes, yep, I did too. I was like, this is a dream. Yeah, dude. And then they killed that whole black family, and I was like, damn. I was like, whoa, this is really like not a. Oh yeah, that's when it was really. I was like, well, they killed Professor X, all of them in like that one, and I think also that established that enemy as a really hated enemy because he killed Professor X, he killed that family, and I was like, dude, this is a force to be reckoned with now. I'm like, shit. Oh yeah. You needed to make it feel like it was a formidable enemy. It was like a younger Wolverine that's in his prime versus one that's like broken down and can barely heal that well at all anymore. Yeah, you never knew who was gonna. Yeah, and I absolutely love that. Oh look, was that? Did we have a cloud overhead? Because it just got a lot brighter. This is gonna look nice now. Anyway, so okay, so the way he went out, there was that. What did you think? Oh, well, so okay, so this is the second rated R movie, in with the X-Men. The first one was the Trailblazing Deadpool, which was a small movie. I think it only had like $67 million budget, but it made like 700 million back or something crazy like that. And then this one, see, I think Fox Studios learned the right lesson. Like, we don't have to spend $250 million to make a gigantic special effects movie, or like just be true to the characters. And I'm glad they didn't just make it rated R for the sake of making it rated R, which is what I heard they were gonna do with the Batman movie. Which I'm not surprised because DC's made all sorts of mistakes, and they finally have a hit now. So now I have a feeling everything they make now they're gonna try and make it like Wonder Woman, but that's another story. But I'm glad they didn't try to set too much stuff up, right? I didn't get the sense that, oh, they have to set up another, movie, a sequel or anything. It was just like, this is just a movie. This is. And also, I felt a little emotional because I felt like this was Hugh Jackman's last run at Wolverine. Eh, it's that's supposedly his last. That's what he said, and yeah, I don't know. Never say never. If well, he's played him now. Let me see. There's the 6 X-Men movies, the 3 Wolverines. That's 9. And yeah, he's played him 9. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I guess he doesn't show up in Deadpool technically, but he's been in 9 movies, and he's been playing him since like 2000 or 2001. So that's like 16, 17 years he's been playing this character. And when you look at like Batman, there's been like 5 Batmans, like 4 different Spider-Mans. There's been different Supermans. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and you know what also, often when people say things like that, they'll bring up, well, like, nobody thought anybody could change or could beat Jack Nicholson as the Joker, which I know you don't like the old Batman movie, right? Yeah, I really, I really like him. I was like 9 years old when that first one came out. Oh, God. Oh, please, God, no. I'm a wife. And, oh, God. Well, yeah, my cousin was like, well, they were made for the mentality of a 5-year-old. This is just a toy commercial. Let's give Batgirl a motorcycle for 10 seconds so we can sell another toy. Oh, God. Anyway, it's getting distracted. But a lot of people were like, no one can beat Jack Nicholson's, right? And then Heath Ledger came along. But I think it's a little different because Jack Nicholson was only the Joker once. It's not like Robert Downey Jr. Yeah, Robert Downey Jr. has been that character for almost 10 years, and probably like, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe 9 or 10 movies, even just cameos. And yeah, so him and like Hugh Jackman, it would be really hard to replace. It would have to be a completely different Wolverine, like entirely different. Which I heard they might go that way because of Deadpool, like give them their actual costumes. I saw a YouTube video of Wolverine fighting Wonder Woman, and the Wolverine looked pretty good. Make him like the comic books, because Wolverine's like 5'1", I think, and he's really hairy. And Hugh Jackman's like 6'4" or something. Well, it depends on the. You know what though? Okay, so dude, you got to watch the YouTube video. And what you're saying though is the reason when X-Men came out, they all just had black leather because they're like, we can't put those bright colors. But then once Marvel started with the Avengers with all the bright colors, like look at Doctor Strange. He looks almost exactly like the comic book. Like I think you could. I don't mind it now. I think we've seen it enough. Deadpool looks exactly like the comics, and Spider-Man. Yeah, you could just make all black leather. And the black leather, I guarantee you, that's because Batman's all black leather. You know, for the it wasn't that bad for the time, but they got to change it up now in the future. Like I want to see the comic book costumes. Well, obviously some of them are kind of like retarded too, especially with the females. And they're like, I'm just gonna wear my costume's just tassels with my butt cheeks hanging out. Yeah, yeah. So the story is that who is it that finds Wolverine? Isn't it? It's a lady finds him, right? Somehow. Yeah. Oh yeah. Help me. And then somehow, yeah, does she get his cell phone number? Because doesn't he get a text or something? I can't remember how. He changes his mind. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. That's very similar again to The Last of Us, where it's not money, but they offer guns. Yeah, she's dead, and then he takes a girl. Um, so, hmm yeah. So then they start traversing everything. Professor X gets killed with the Black family, where they take. You know what I didn't understand when they met the Black family. Did Professor X make their horses go crazy deliberately or something? I, I, I feel I feel like he caused that problem so they could take a break or something, but it ended up getting everybody killed. He got him, including himself. Yeah, yeah. So you've seen it more recently. Yeah, you've seen it more recently than I have. I ended up not rewatching it, even though I said I would. I'm going off of when I saw it in theaters opening night in March. I think it was in March. Um, why'd they go to that casino? I think that was just a place to rest, I guess. Yeah, and that's when Professor X like freezes everybody, and yeah, and then he goes in. Wolverine kills everyone. Well, he's got a range on it. He can amplify it with Cerebro, is the thing. But it's within a certain range. It's not like infinite. Like he can't get through the whole universe. Um. Okay. Well. Okay. So, yeah, that scene was pretty cool. And then they get to. Let me see. Then eventually he gets her to that spot. Oh, she rescues him because he's injured. I guess he just bleeds out right from his fight with the younger Wolverine, and she takes him to the hospital. Yeah, I think she takes him to the because he falls asleep in the car. He passes out. Yeah, and then that's when she speaks for the first time. What did you think when she spoke? Oh, she's just grass. Isn't it like no or C? And then she's like gracias. Or the no, she says de nada. She's like thank you. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I had started to think that too. That like, okay, she's just never gonna speak. Yeah, but then she did. Yeah, I think she didn't want to open up to him, and after that, I mean, again, in The Last of Us, there's a scene where the main character falls on a piece of rebar, and then they get on a horse and start riding off, and eventually he can't go anymore, and he passes out, loses consciousness, and she nurses him back to health, almost exactly the same. And then he comes around and she's like helped him. Well, actually, when he comes around, she's gone because she got kidnapped in the video game. But in this one, they're kind of he wakes up in the doctor's office, and then so then there's those other little mutant kids that they experimented on. So they finally get there, and again, much like in The Last of Us, he gets her to the place to his brother's, kind of like a sanctuary place, and then he's gonna leave her, and she's like, well, then I guess fine, that's it, you know. And they're gonna split, but then he changes his mind, just like in the video game. He changes his mind. He's like, fine, I'll take you all the way to the border. But in this one, he changes his mind at the last minute, right? And that, what do you think was gonna? So what do you think? Yeah, what do you think was gonna happen when he injected the whole thing? Remember, the guys were like, don't take the whole thing, don't take the whole serum or whatever. And then die, probably. Yeah, I thought it would last at least like a couple hours. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So spoilers. He dies at the end. I'm gonna have to put spoilers in the review. People are gonna get pissed. You are all a homos. Anyway, what do you think? What do you think during that scene? Where, where, mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. It, yeah, yeah. Yeah. And the line that got me the most was when she calls him daddy, and I was like, oh my god. Yeah, dude, that scene was good, man. And just throughout, like, I can't think of a movie. Like, I've been following Hugh Jackman since, because the first time I saw him was in the first X-Men. Then I saw him in Swordfish, which Halle Berry was also in it, Storm, which was great. And he's always been good. He's a really good actor. But I've never seen him in a role. I think Les Miserables was the first one I was like, oh, maybe he'll get an Oscar nomination for this. But then this one blows that out of the water, in my opinion. And I really would like him to win the Oscar, actually. Because as of right now, I can't think of anybody who's done a better acting performance this year. It's only, like, June. But I can't think of anybody off the top of my head that's outperformed him this year. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. It was very straightforward. Yeah, it's a road trip survival movie, right? It's very, very basic story, but it's just everything about it's really good, man. The director was really good, the story was good, and the R rating wasn't. It wasn't just R rating, just because, like, again, you know how I always say the NBA is the most useless degree. They just like they invent data and then they like put it on the stupid chart. They're like, well, this movie's rated R and it did this. Maybe we should make it just force it to be R because the R rating is clearly what made the money. And it with the cholos and then with the boobs. Yeah. Well, yeah, I could see that. I could see that, but the thing that for comic book people, well, that's true to Wolverine's character, so it didn't bother me as much because I know in the comics I'm like, okay, this is more like the comics now, and I like that. And then I like the boobs just because boobs. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Um, so the cinematography is, I thought the cinematography was really good. It was shot in a style, yeah, it was shot in a style that reminded me of like one of my favorite movies ever. This is in the 100 Club, as No Country for Old Men, and also another movie that came out last year, which was Hell or High Water. which is a fantastic movie. Um, it's kind of, yeah, that way, and kind of like that West Texas kind of, which a lot of it is in West Texas. I think it's in El Paso, and then they go up to Oklahoma and all that. Um, I like that style, and I like that genre of movies for some reason. I don't know if it's a genre, but it's like modern Western. You know what I mean? Oh no, it was shot like a film, and that's why I think, yeah, yeah, it, yeah. This was not this was not stopping the robbers. And it was like a serious story about a hero, and that's one of the things that I love. And actually, I think my score while we were talking, it went up like a little bit from where I started. Yeah. So, I'm gonna. Well, what do you give it as your? I think we're kind of summing up now. Um, what would you give it as your score? 1 to 100. Oh, really? Okay. Yeah. Yeah. That's interesting because I was gonna give it an 84, but I'm gonna give it an 86. Yeah. Yeah. In fact, it's perfect. It's 100. I win. My score's higher. I got more points. Oh yeah, okay, cool, man. Well, you got about the same. I think you and I seem to rate things similarly, which is cool. Well, I really want to start doing those clueless movie watcher and see what Kusa does. Like 12. I don't know. Well, I'd give a porno 100. Anyways, yeah. Why does he heal? Where do those claws come from? Why is he bald? Who's that crazy guy? Anyway, yeah. So I give it an 86. Venom gives it an 85. So what would you guys give it? What do you guys think? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you think we're stupid? Do you think we're homeless? I don't know. Uh, like and comment, subscribe down below. Don't forget to watch our podcast also. And we're going to be streaming some other stuff. I'm going to be continuing on my Mass Effect stream. And I'm going to stream some Witcher New Game Plus stuff and some free roaming. Alright. Oh yeah, Venom and I are good. Yeah, in about 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, July 7th. So look out for that. All right, we will see ya. Oh wait, no, wait. See ya later. Yay!